am determined to see. I am determined to see. I am determined to see. And great indeed will be our reward. What you desire you will see. Such is the real law of cause and effect, as it operates in the world, as it operates in the world. I am determined to see. I am determined to see. I am determined to see. Well, thank you all so much for joining me here today on for Monday, January the 20th's lesson in A Course in Miracles. We're reading from the Foundation for Inner Peace version of A Course in Miracles. And I'm Forgiveness Willie. Monday, January 20th, 2025. I am determined to see. I am determined to see. Let's read what it says. We have been quite casual about our practice periods thus far. There has been virtually no attempt to direct the time for undertaking them. Minimal effort has been required, and not even active cooperation and interest have been asked. This approach has been intentional and very carefully planned. We have not lost sight of the crucial importance of the reversal of your thinking. The salvation of the world depends on it. Yet you will not see if you regard yourself as being coerced, and if you give in to resentment and opposition. This is our first attempt to introduce structure. Do not misconstrue it as an effort to exert force or pressure. We want salvation. You want to be happy. That's what salvation is complete peace, complete happiness, joy all the time. Be able to see the good in everyone and everything, all the situations, see the beauty. See the beauty of God always, no exceptions. You want salvation, you want to be happy, you want peace. You do not have them now because your mind is totally undisciplined, and you cannot distinguish between joy and sorrow, pleasure and pain, love and fear. You are now learning how to tell them apart, and great indeed will be your reward. Your decision to see is all that vision requires. Your decision to see is all that vision requires. What you want is yours. Do not mistake the little effort that is asked of you for an indication that our goal is of little value. Can the salvation of the world be a trivial purpose? And can the world be saved if you are not? God has one Son, and He is the resurrection and the life. His will is done because all power is given Him in heaven and on earth. In your determination to see is vision given you. In your determination to see is vision given you. The exercises for today consist of reminding yourself throughout the day that you want to see. Today's idea also tacitly implies the recognition that you do not see now. Therefore, as you repeat the idea, you are stating that you are determined to change your present state for a better one, and one you really want. Repeat today's idea slowly and positively, at least twice an hour today, attempting to do so every half hour. So twice an hour today, He wants us, as our practice period, to simply repeat this simple statement, I am determined to see. He says repeat it slowly and positively at least twice an hour today, attempting to do so every half hour. Do not be distressed if you forget to do so, but make a real effort to remember. The extra repetitions should be applied to any situation, person, or event that upsets you. So as well as every half hour, if something comes along that kind of upsets you, tell yourself, I'm determined to see. I'm not going to, and you might add another statement or so, but whatever feels good to you. But basically use this as a way to dismiss upsetting thoughts. The extra repetitions should be applied to any situation, person, or event that upsets you. Of course, to be able to do that, you have to be aware that you're upset, which is really the first step. Know this is fear, remember? So first you have to know it's fear, but then he's giving you a little remedy. Just say, I'm determined to see. I'm not going to let this keep me down, and dismiss it. You can see them differently, and you will. What you desire, you will see. What you desire, you will see. Such is the real law of cause and effect as it operates in the world. So the real law of cause and effect is what you desire, you will see. That's a major point we're going to be learning. He'll build on that idea, but this is our first introduction to it, I think. What you desire, you will see. So remember, and what we're going to learn is that every desire is a prayer. And we always get what we want, whether it's in the words you use or not. But what you're asking for, a lot of people say vibrationally, but emotionally is what you're going to get. That subconscious pleading that you're always asking for something. That's what's coming to you. Okay, let's go take a look at our text reading for today. And we're in chapter 3, The Innocent Perception, ready for section 2. Miracles as true perception. Miracles as true perception. And of course today we're going to remember all through the day, just every time you get a chance, try he says twice an hour, every half hour if you can. There's been years where I've actually set my clock on my phone, or before phone clocks, little wristwatch. Set it to where it would go off every half hour. It gets a little tedious, but and he's really not telling you to do something like that. I've tried it before, is what I'm trying to say. But do the best you can. If maybe something happens every hour, and you'll just go, okay, when like if you're at school and there's a bell every hour, well then, okay, when the bell rings, remind yourself, okay, I'm determined to see. And just think about that for a minute. Pause and actually let that go to heart. And then sometime during that hour, remember it again. You can do it that way. Anyway, miracles as true perception. I have stated that the basic concepts referred to in this course are not matters of degree. I have stated that the basic concepts referred to in this course are not matters of degree. Certain fundamental concepts cannot be understood in terms of opposites. It is impossible to conceive of light and darkness, or everything and nothing, as joint possibilities. They are all true or all false. It is essential that you realize your thinking will be erratic until a firm commitment to one or the other is made. It is essential that you realize your thinking will be erratic until a firm commitment to one or the other is made. A firm commitment to darkness or nothingness, however, is impossible. No one has ever lived who has not experienced some light and some thing. No one, therefore, is able to deny truth totally, even if he thinks he can. Paragraph 2. Innocence is not a partial attribute. It is not real until it is total. Innocence is not real until it's total. The partly innocent are apt to be quite foolish at times. It is not until their innocence becomes a viewpoint with universal application that it becomes wisdom. It is not until their innocence becomes a viewpoint with universal application that it becomes wisdom. Innocence becomes wisdom when it's applied to everything always. Innocence, or true perception, okay, now he's telling us another definition of innocence, true perception, kind of like what we're looking for when we say, I'm determined to see. We're looking for innocent perception, true perception, vision. Innocent or true perception means that you never misperceive and always see truly. More simply, it means that you never see what does not exist and always see what does. Nothing real can be threatened, nothing unreal exists. Herein lies the peace of God. And it was back in our introduction to the Course in Miracles. Innocent and true perception means that you never misperceive and always see truly. More simply, it means you never see what does not exist and always see what does. Paragraph 3. When you lack confidence in what someone will do, you are attesting to your belief that he is not in his right mind. Let's read that again. When you lack confidence in what someone will do, you are attesting to your belief that he is not in his right mind. This is hardly a miracle-based frame of reference. It also has the disastrous effect of denying the power of the miracle. The miracle perceives everything as it is. If nothing but the truth exists, right-minded seeing cannot see anything but perfection. Wind's a little strong today. If nothing but the truth exists, right-minded seeing cannot see anything but perfection. I have said that only what God creates or what you create with the same will has any real existence. This then is all the innocent can see. They do not suffer from distorted perception. That's what we want to get to, where we're not distorted with distorted perception, where we see only what God sees. Let's read it again. The miracle perceives everything as it is. If nothing but the truth exists, right-minded seeing cannot see anything but perfection. I have said that only what God creates or what you create with the same will has any real existence. This then is all the innocent can see. They do not suffer from distorted perception. Paragraph 4. You are afraid of God's will because you have used your own mind, which He created in the likeness of His own, to miscreate. The mind can miscreate only when it believes it is not free. An imprisoned mind is not free because it is possessed or held back by itself. So he uses a word that when a mind is imprisoned, it is not free because it is possessed or held back by itself. It's caught up in yourself, possessed by yourself, egocentric. It is therefore limited, and the will is not free to assert itself. To be one is to be of one mind or will. When the will of the Sonship and the Father are one, their perfect accord is heaven. Wow, isn't that cool? Let me read that last sentence again. When the will of the Sonship, when your will, and the Father's are one, their perfect accord is heaven. Now, there is a part of everyone's will that's still united with the Father, and that's where heaven is. But we can wake up to that and see it if we're determined to see. So let's be determined to see. That might motivate us to do our lesson today every half hour, saying, I'm determined to see. I'm holding my umbrella with my left hand because the wind's blowing so strong. I've got it laying on its side to keep the morning sun from hitting me so bright, but at the same time the wind's kind of wanting to yank it away. Paragraph 5. Nothing can prevail against a son of God who commends his spirit into the hands of his Father. Remember what Jesus did on the cross? He commended his spirit into the hands of the Father. Nothing can prevail against a son of God who commends his spirit into the hands of his Father. By doing this, the mind awakens from its sleep and remembers its Creator. All sense of separation disappears. The Son of God is part of the Holy Trinity, but the Trinity itself is one. There is no confusion within its levels because they are one mind and one will. This single purpose creates perfect integration and establishes the peace of God. Yet this vision can be perceived only by the truly innocent. Because their hearts are pure, the innocent defend true perception instead of defending themselves against it. Catch that. Remember, it reminds me of the Beatitudes where Jesus said, the pure in heart shall see God. Well, look what he says. Yet this vision can be perceived only by the truly innocent. Because their hearts are pure, the innocent defend true perception instead of defending themselves against true perception. Understanding the lesson of the atonement, they are without the wish to attack, and therefore they see truly. This is what the Bible means when it says, when he shall appear or be perceived, we shall be like him, for we shall see him as he is. And that's in 1 John chapter 3 and verse 2. And the last paragraph for today. The way to correct distortions is to withdraw your faith in them and to invest it only in what is true. The way to correct distortions is to withdraw your faith in them and invest it only in what is true. You cannot make untruth true. If you are willing to accept what is true in everything you perceive, you let it be true for you. Truth overcomes all error, and those who live in error and emptiness can never find lasting peace. So truth overcomes all error, and those who live in error and emptiness can never find lasting peace or solace. If you perceive truly, you are canceling out misperceptions in yourself and in others simultaneously. Because you see them as they are, you offer them your acceptance of their truth so they can accept it for themselves. This is the healing that the miracle induces. So you see their beauty, their perfection, their godliness, their goodness, maybe even before they do, and it awakens them to their reality. That's what the miracle does. Okay, well, let's be doing our lesson today. I'm determined to see. All day today, just tell yourself, I'm determined to see. Okay, let's see. Let's go. What's going on around the world today? Let's look and see if we can see. It's Martin Luther King Day. Martin Luther King Day of Service. Martin Luther King was born on January 15th, today, in 1929 in Atlanta, Georgia. And he died on April 4th, 1968. He was assassinated. I should have looked up where that, he used to know, was that in Memphis, I think. I'm not exactly sure, I don't recall. I think that's where it was. Anyway, it's Civil Rights Day. So he stood for civil rights. And we thank him for his recognition that everyone should be treated equally. And of course, that's moving in the right direction, wasn't it? I am determined to see. I'm sure he realized that he needed to see better. Huh? Also, today's the U.S. Inauguration Day. So I guess we'll be inaugurating Mr. Donald Trump to office today. International Day of Acceptance. And I just think of that, accept everyone. There shouldn't be anyone that you reject. Everyone should be accepted as they are, as your brother and sister. Anyway, International Day of Acceptance. Crowd Feed Day, basically a day to throw a big party and feed a bunch of people. It reminds me of the 2 times that in the Bible it's referred to that Jesus fed the 5,000. There's several places where it talks about it, but you can find the other places yourself. But Matthew chapter 14, verse 13 through 21, he fed 5,000 there, and then he fed 4,000 in Matthew 15, verse 32 through 39. It's recorded. That first place was in Bethsaida, and the other place was in what do they call that? Gerasenes. That's where he had healed the demoniac that was in his right mind after he healed him. Anyway, let's see. And I always thought that, I've heard people say that one of the best ways to know that, or the way that Jesus fed people is he was teaching love. And everybody in those days probably, and even today, people carry a little food with them. And if everybody just said, hey, let's feed everybody, any group could probably feed everybody and have food left over. If they just all shared what they had with everybody. And a little boy shared his fish and bread. He had a couple pieces of bread and a couple pieces of fish, and he shared them with the master, and the master shared them with everybody. And he showed that, we'll work together, we can have a beautiful world. That's what we want to strive for. Let's see, what else? Working together, not International Day of Acceptance is working together. Crowd Feed Day. Penguin Awareness Day. There's several genera of penguins, but I want to tell you about 2. And they all but one live in Antarctica, the south part of the world. Not Antarctica only. Most of them live in Antarctica, but there are some that live in Africa. But they're all at the south end of the globe. There's one variety that lives still not even much further than the equator in the Galapagos Islands, right there west of Ecuador in the Pacific Ocean. And it's that variety that lives on the Galapagos Islands, and they're in the northern hemisphere barely. The Galapagos Islands are both in the southern and the northern hemisphere, and that variety is the Spheniscus. That's the only one and the other variety that lives in Antarctica for sure is the emperor penguins, and that's the Aptenoides. So anyway, I thought that was kind of interesting that they all live in mainly the southern hemisphere, penguins. Take a Walk Outdoors Day. Well, we're definitely been walking outdoors in the wind today. Blue Monday. I guess it's kind of I'm not sure why. I guess a lot of people think it's Blue Monday because who's getting to be president. But God's in charge always. Always give thanks. Sky Travel Day is, I like to think, Blue Monday, if you're going to put a name to it. But if you're going to have a Blue Monday, be a little depressed, well then have Brew Monday too. What's Brew Monday? Connect with others with a cup of tea and brew some tea together. And then out of edible landscaping, we've got the Kaj-acik-anor pomegranate, the Punic granatum, and let me tell you about the Kaj-acik-anor pomegranate. Is a cold-hardy variety with heavy yields, keeps for a long time after picking, and self-fertile, zone 7 through 9. Okay, and you know something that I thought was, I found out that what they call that grenadine is made from pomegranate. It's concentrated with sugar added to it. Is that grenadine? A lot of people that drink mixed drinks use it as a ingredient. Okay, well I guess if the wind blows my umbrella away, I guess we'll finish our song without, because I can't hold the umbrella and play my guitar. I'm determined to see. And keep in mind this idea, what you desire you will see. He'll develop it further. But you know, that's a key point that we're learning. Matter of fact, do we have just enough time? Well, yeah, I think we have enough time. Let me just go back to it real quick and just, I wanted to point this out. A couple big ideas that he's pointed out yesterday's lesson. Remember, he said that we are emphasizing the fact that minds are joined. It is a fact that there are no private thoughts. That's a key idea. And I remember when I first learned that from my teacher, Charlie, sitting in his living room as he was teaching on Friday nights. And he said, you know, as much as you want to have private thoughts, there's no such things. He didn't use A Course in Miracles. He used Roy Eugene Davis's book, This is Reality, he was a disciple of Paramahansa Yogananda. But you know, the truth is truth, regardless of where it comes from. That's why the Course in Miracles is called A Course in Miracles, not the Course in Miracles, because there are lots of ways to God. Okay, and another idea that we're kind of getting exposed to now, which is a key concept, that last couple sentences today, under I am determined to see. You can see differently, and you will. What you desire, you will see. Such is the real law of cause and effect as it operates in the world. Okay, well, let's close with our song and do the best you can today at telling yourself, I'm determined to see. I am 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 determined to see. And great indeed will be our reward. What you desire you will see. Such is the real law of cause and effect as it operates in the world, as it operates in the world. I am determined to see. 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 And what you see, what you desire, you will see. So let's desire to be determined. Don't just say it rotely. Let's really get a sense of thinking, I really want to open my eyes and see the truth. I want to have the innocent perception. It'll turn into wisdom. Okay, and our word for peace, you know, last year we did the Cherokee word, so we're going to use the Hawaiian word today, which is Maluhia. But our Cherokee word, we've got time, let me just say it. I'm trying to get it down because I've got a little Cherokee ancestry in me. So I'm trying to learn the word, and it's Novato Hayada. So anyway, that's a Cherokee word for peace. Novato Hayada. I want to start using some of these a little more. But we're going to close today with the word from Hawaiian, which is Maluhia. 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 I am determined to see. Maluhia.